What I should show you first is my signature piece. This is actually what I'm known for throughout the country, probably wider than that. These are collected in glass collections pretty much universally. So 7 or 8 glass galleries from here to the East Coast carry these pieces. I call them my glass tapestries because they look like they're made out of fabric almost because of the very fine threads that you see in here. So from 1970 until 1990, I worked in the computer industry. 12 years at IBM, 7 years at Xerox, and 2 years in microcomputers. It just got tough. We were in a business where you could be state-of-the-art at 8 o'clock in the morning and practically obsolete by 5 o'clock the same day. So it was very stressful. So I quit and went for the proverbial and literal walk in the woods. And the woods I walked in was a glass camp outside of Portland, Oregon, a little town called Colton. But gosh, 3 weeks in the woods with glass artists, and oh, by the way, it was freezing cold, pouring rain. The only place to go to be dry and warm was the classroom. So I went into the classroom, which I hadn't really intended to do initially, and just fell in love. There was a moment when I decided I had to make a commitment strong enough to only be able to go forward. I had a lot of people still calling me about coming back into the computer industry, and I had all these expensive suits and high heels and business clothes, and now I was suddenly in tennis shoes, jeans, shorts, and t-shirts. So in a strange mood one day, I boxed up all the really expensive suits and the shoes, and I sent them to my mother, who was in California, San Diego, and I said, I don't care if you give them away or put them in a consignment store, I just can't have them in my house. I did a lot of crazy things, it seems like in retrospect. I had a very expensive mortgage and a big house in Scottsdale. I sold it. I put it on the market immediately. I had a big expensive car. I sold it. But that way I couldn't go back. I couldn't backslide if I was having a bad day or a scared day or whatever. It was part of my plan to go forward for sure. When I started doing this back in 90, I think there were 2 of us fusing glass and nobody blowing glass here in the valley. The only 2 glass blowers in the state in 1990 was Tom Philibom in Tucson and George Auerbach up in Flagstaff. Well, the first time I ever made one, I set the floor on fire, I set my shirt on fire, I set a piece of paper clear across a table on fire because I didn't perceive what would happen when you brought 1500 degree glass near a piece of plain paper. Florida, her name's Nui Fagan. California, all the teapots are from 3 California Laguna Beach artists. This is Costa Boda, so this is Bertil Valine. My friend Judy that has these paintings here. I think it's really important to support the other artists. The Cave Creek community is a super strong arts community. It's not well known, I think, outside of this community because we have this reputation of being this big horse town or cowboy bar town or the most western hee-haw town. I'm not sure. But the community is very supportive of each other up here, and I don't think I have ever seen or heard a comment where one artist feels threatened by another artist. The synergy that comes from sharing causes all of us, I think, to grow. Well, what I love about it, and I still tell people, the last job I had in California, I commuted 70 miles one way to work from Anaheim Hills to Glendale, California. And now I commute from the master bedroom at that end of the house to the teapot on the stove at that end of the house, which is probably all of, 30 steps. And then I commute outside to the open pole barn where we work, and I can work out there as many hours as it's comfortable. But I honestly am as excited in the morning today to go out and open a kiln and see what we have as I was 30 years ago. The tapestries. You don't really know until it has annealed and you open the door what the colors are and how it's going to look. I guess I just didn't realize you could actually make a living at art until I'd been doing it for a good 6 months, and I think that's when I realized you could. And here we are. My gosh. You know, there's an old saying about artists: you have to change to stay who you are. You have to grow to stay who you are. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again.